Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Well, I'm multi-streaming. I'm on Bumble also. So I want to thank everybody that shows up for this live stream and the one on Bumble. And I did a little short video earlier today that I hope you all got a chance to see. And if not, you ought to check it out afterwards and play it all the way through for me. So, if you watch half of it's only 5 minutes. Aren't I worth 5 minutes of your time, for crying out loud? So anyway, when we get enough people in, I'll see if everybody's getting a good signal or not. So Hunter got convicted today. So I put in my thumbnail that's small price to pay. Hunter Games. We're in fifth generation warfare. You already see how they're spinning it. Poor old Hunter. He's not like Trump. He's respecting the law. He's respecting the judges. He's respecting what the jury put out there. And plus he had an addiction. And his father is going to make everybody respect the law. His father's not going to pardon him or nothing. Well, I've already talked about that. Commutation of sentences is a possibility. He's got appeals he can go through. He's a first-time offender, technically. And so there's a lot of things going on at play. We just have to see how it turns out. Hi, Finding Dory, Sherry, Diane, Melinda, Debbie. Nice to see you all. Hi, Damon, Angela, and Diane, Melinda. Okay, I think I got everybody. And we got a lot more rolling in. So here's a video I'm going to play once we get some people in the chats. I just got some presentation memes up for you all. And that guy, Reality Bites, he made that meme last month. And what isn't that telling, how this is the thumbnail I used when I did a video called Truth and Reconciliate. Whoa, my screen's getting tricky on me. Truth and Reconciliation Act. Here it is, right here. That's the thumbnail I used where I showed that video last night of Trump and talking about how rude she was and wouldn't let him get a word in edgewise. And the clip was about J6. I've got some more clips from that interview that are going to be, as they say, prescient. So we'll see how things go. Hi, Jason. How you doing? Nice to see everybody. Yeah, it's Mountain Man. Damon's here. Let's see. All right. So anyway, I had an introductory video that I'll play for you all that plays on the Bumble channel. And I got a lot of memes and stuff that I've been finding on Truth and in social. But remember when I was talking about this, I was reading this one to you all about something I'd never heard of till now. And I'll let you get a good look at the vessel itself. There you go. Sometimes the sound breaks up while I'm moving a picture. MS Motorsports, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? Let's see. Who else did I miss? Seems like gotta be. Anyway, this is kind of like a small type, a little smaller than a shuttle. I don't recall ever seeing something like this. But it looks like it's meant to be manned. And says U.S. Air Force, okay, Boeing on the side. But this is the one that I was reading about, so I posted. I took off on my record-breaking mission, 900 days in orbit. Let's see, it says more of that on top. Let's see. I am X37B, May 17th, 2020. I took off of my latest record-breaking orbit, 900 days in orbit. During that time and space, down on Earth, these things occurred. The 2020 summer RIOTS across America. You guys know which platform I got to be careful of. The 2020 election protests, okay. The 2021 inauguration of Joe Babylon Biden. The 2020 midterm elections. And then I landed safely November 12th, 2022. So there is the vehicle, okay? And I may have seen it and didn't. We're talking, it launched, 4 years ago. Maybe I saw something about it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was busy. Ian says it's a space drone. Yeah. It's hard to tell from that front whether it can be manned also. But I don't think we had anybody up in space for 908 days. I don't believe so. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to y'all because I said I would. I promised I would. Anyway, so let me play y'all the little video I put together. Holy cow, I've got one I got to go out of the studio to get. But this one I put on introductory video on Bumble. So let me cut my mic off and play it for you. I think you all enjoy it.
My watch started to buzz, and I got so excited I started leaking a little bit. But wait.
Look at them, they're everywhere.
In a sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
Has Donald Trump called you for advice or talked to you at all? And first of all, you've given him some pretty good advice so far, if you have.
Yeah.
But has he called and talked to you? I would call you.
No, he hasn't. No.
No, he hadn't. I figure I put it up if anybody wants to know what we talk about on this channel. So we talk about a lot more than that kind of stuff. But anyway, did you all get a chance? Well, I tell you what we were talking about. Hi, Doc. How you doing? We were talking about Macron, right? And they're having a hard way to go over there in France. And he's gone ahead and pretty much shut things down. Now, all these characters in America that think we need to go to a European system, they got to think about this. Macron dissolves National Assembly for a snap poll after EU election results. That'd be like Biden shutting down Congress. But they all want us to be like Europe. They get that drilled in their heads when they pay for $100,000 to go to a Harvard or Yale or one of these other Marxist institutions. But I'm going to put this up for everybody to think while we're looking at things, discussing things, looking at articles, looking at news. Everybody knows most of the people in this chat, but a lot of people that may watch this video later have never heard of this situation, what Obama repealed in 1948, so he could flood our media with endless propaganda, okay? His legacy is chaos and destruction, okay? And a lot of you all, hi, Island Girl, how you doing? A lot of you all know about that, the act. It's called Munt Act, M-U-N-T. What's the rest of it? Somebody in chat may know. And it allows the government to put out propaganda. So keep that in mind as we go on through these articles that you see on the news, videos that are suggested to you that, may be skewed, like this one here. 236,000 views. KTNV Nevada channel, Las Vegas. Former President Donald Trump draws thousands. They show this one dope. I didn't see. This is the only loser I saw. I might have saw a few stray pictures of somebody jumping around complaining, but Trump walked out of there with tens of millions of dollars in California and Nevada. California being reportedly deep blue. He went in there and, as far as from a fundraising standpoint, cleaned the Democrats' clocks. Okay, but this is the picture they put. Some malcontent that just listens to the freakazoid news. So anyway, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And we talked last night. These are some of the things. I ran out of time. Just got late. But this is those boys on the scooters I was telling you about. The Publica. This is out of Spokane. Spokane teens face up to 5 years in prison for, quote, defacing pride flag crossing walk by driving on it. Or what are we supposed to do? Take our shoes off when we go on a crossing walk? Or put pillowcases on our tires? So it's getting to be a mess. I had a cartoon about that. Let me see if I can find it. Or I can pull it up when I come across it. But most people don't even realize this kind of lunacy is going on. I'll find it. I might never go out of the studio to get it, but 5 years in prison. Those kids are terrified. And you got Hunter Biden. You think he's going to get any 5 years in prison? Smoking crack and running around with a pistoli? Here you go. Here's the cartoon. Peaceful protests. And we just saw it. We just saw it in D.C., them assaulting peace officers, tearing up statues, spraying statues, and hate crime for driving over their goofball walkway. It makes me want to invent a pair of sneakers or shoes. Remember when you could buy those stamps where you could take and stamp your own envelopes with your address on them, or get logos or whatever, and they self-inked. They had their own ink supply inside, and you would just push down on the stamp and let up on it. It would put your whatever you wanted on your envelope real nice. Do it 100 times, and then you could fill it with ink again. I'd like to do that, sell a pair of shoes that you could put your message on the bottom of your shoe and fill it full of ink and walk across a crosswalk and just leave your message all the way across it. It'd be kind of hard to police that 24 hours a day. Free speech, right? Here, I didn't get to show this one. You know what I heard since I had that crazy joyless Behar and the beginning video. Her and Whoopi, I heard, had contracts canceled. Whoopi Goldberg for some type of voiceover stuff or some kind of Hollywood BS she was supposed to star in next year. Going to get between like 4 and 6 million. They canceled it. Joy Behar had 2 deals with Pixar and Disney. Okay? They both got canceled. Each one she was supposed to get close to the same thing, like around 5 million per deal. But the real kick in the head, I heard that they both got their salaries cut. I think Behar was making more than Whoopi. She was making around, I think, like 6 million. They're taking her down to 3.5 million, something like that. And Whoopi was at 5 million or so, around that. And they're taking her down to 3 or less than 3. Or just leave The View. Because, as we know, ABC is owned by Disney. And they're having to cut corners. Ike Perlmutter and the other individual, Melton Pelt. What was his name? Peltz. Sold the stock in Disney and cost it to fall $40 a share. Nelson Peltz. Not just them selling. They sold right after the release of this much-awaited series called The Acolyte, Disney Star Wars. It performed so poorly, worst ratings ever on Rotten Tomatoes for a Lucasfilm release ever. It's terrible. That's really what made the price fall. And Perlmutter and Peltz got rid of their shares, something like $3 billion worth, because they did not want their investors to take a bath. And something to think about. The director of this fiasco I was just talking about is named Leslie Headland. She is the former personal assistant to who? Hi, Pamela. M's here, Bubba's here. Hi, Bubba. Pappy Two Bears. Miss Menderson. Who do you think she was the personal assistant to? No goggling. Leslie Headland. She's making millions of dollars to destroy. Just like they're doing to Doctor Who. Guess what? Doctor Who has got the worst ratings they've ever had either. But what happened in the show that caused their ratings to drop? I think it had something to do with Doctor Who kissing another man. I don't know, something about that. But anyway, Leslie Headland is the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. Oh, what a rat's nest. What a rat's nest Hollywood has become. But we've got all this stuff. Now, you think we're going to see stuff like this about Hunter? This is what happened with Trump. This is what the average citizen walking down the street or going into a store got bombarded with. Okay? Full onslaught, arm of the Democratic Party, mainstream media. Here you go. I put this on True Social. Olivia Giuliani put it up there. They were just so happy. But you see, we got to have understanding for Hunter. What we used to call that in the old days was a pound of flesh. They get their pound of flesh and they leave you alone. That's what they're trying to do. But it made me think of what was posted on Donald Trump Jr. And it was posted originally by Elon Musk right here. When I think of the Hunter situation, where is Sherlock Holmes when you need him? Whoa, what did I do? I'll probably have chat stuck on the screen now. Where is Sherlock Holmes when you need him? You see anything? Not yet. So never mind about his gun charges. It's all the other stuff, right, folks, that most of us know about. And I do hope there are people on the outside of the Trump bubble looking in, and they want to come in and see what's going on. Big deal about those gun charges. Big damn deal. They tried to get out of it with an illegal plea agreement, and they got caught. Just like the illegal plea agreement that Donald Trump reversed for Jeffrey Epstein. Okay? Just like that. But anyway, like I said, we're supposed to feel sorry for him. And his father can commute it. Now, let me see. Let me play, since we're talking about that, and hopefully, because I did get some new subscribers. I think I'm up to 1450 or 50 some. So if there are new people that haven't been seeing this stuff or hearing about this stuff, you come to the right place. And the people who usually watch my videos, if you've seen stuff before, remember, we got to be repetitive, just like they do to our friends and neighbors. They pound it in our friends and neighbors' heads. Half-truths, bold-faced lies, and things like that. So we got to fire the meme cannons. We got to show the videos like this one here.
What's going on with this guy? I don't know. Is that the actual painting?
That is the painting.
That's beyond weird.
You know what's telling is where he put it, where he put that painting. That painting was in the entrance. So when you came in, right, the entrance of his apartment in New York, I believe, that painting was in the entrance. Why? That's a power play. That tells you, I own you.
Wow, big. That's so gangster.
That was in Clinton's?
No, that was in Epstein's apartment.
Holy
Manhattan.
shit.
When you walk into we can fact check me, but when you walk into the right, it's there. You put a former president in a dress and high heels in your entry of your apartment. Yeah. What does that say?
I own you.
Wait, is that supposed to be the Lewinsky dress, by the way?
I don't.
You really think that Clintons are involved in Jeffrey Epstein's death? I have no idea. I know he was on his plane 27 times, and he said he was on the plane 4 times. But when they checked the plane log, Bill Clinton, who was a very good friend of Epstein, he was on the plane about 27 or 28 times. So why did he say 4 times? And then the question you have to ask is, did Bill Clinton go to the island? Because Epstein had an island that was not a good place, as I understand it, and I was never there. So you have to ask, did Bill Clinton go to the island? That's the question. If you find that out, you're going to know a lot. Thank you very much.
So I play stuff like that because the people in the video talking to Elena Haba are big podcasters, okay? They've been around for a while. And they weren't aware of the blue dress picture in Epstein's New York brownstone. Then they don't know a hell of a lot of other stuff, too. And the one guy was smart enough to say, was that Monica Lewinsky's dress? So, if they're taking a long time to put 2 and 2 together, what about the average people, the people that we deal with all the time? We don't want to lose as friends or relatives, good relationships with them. So that's why I show stuff over and over again. That's why I save clips and put them together like I did with this one right here. So the other thing, something else that came out today, was that in Connecticut, because I got another clip from that interview with Trump, where that woman was giving him a hard time and challenging him about the theft of the election. And I'd like to get some clips together of proof, but I got to be careful on this site. She was saying, oh, there's no proof. And he said, there's proof everywhere. It's right in front of you. But today they arrested 4 high-level Democrats, okay, in Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut, for supposedly abusing the absentee ballot system. So 4 of them got arrested, and let me play this one for you. People say, well, there's no evidence, and they got Rudy Giuliani's mugshot today, claiming that he is spreading falsehoods. But what did we watch months ago? It wasn't really that long ago, relatively speaking. But here, this is in New Jersey, okay? So we got New Jersey, Connecticut, many others. But let me play this for you. And for people, welcome aboard, new subscribers.
Over in New Jersey, a political operative has just been arrested on felony mail-in ballot fraud charges stemming from the operations that he's allegedly been running for years over in Atlantic City. The political operative in question is Mr. Craig Calloway. He's the former president of the Atlantic City City Council. And locally, Mr. Calloway is seen as something of an expert in terms of mail-in ballots. The chairman of the Atlantic Council Republican Party summed it up quite succinctly. He can make or break an election. In terms of how Mr. Calloway was able to get this done, well, we now have some clues. Because last Thursday, Mr. Calloway, he was arrested and charged with federal voter fraud related to his work on mail-in ballots. The allegation here was that Mr. Calloway and his subordinates were voting on behalf of people who did not authorize them to do so and or were not even aware that this was all taking place.
Well, guess what? The guy mentioned in this video we just watched, that woman that I showed video of her cramming boxes full of certain types of pieces of paper. The 4 in Connecticut, this guy, that lady, other people we've shown in the past 2 years, they're all singing. I would bet you dollars to donuts. They're all singing. And if people say, well, it wasn't enough to switch the election or change the election, well, why the hell do you think they were doing it? For their looks? It's an ignorant statement to make that, well, it didn't affect the election. Oh, it didn't? Well, we're finding out now, aren't we? So let me see what's going on in chats. Raven's Wings, how you doing? Angel Rose, how you doing? Gloria. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Holy cow. So if you didn't get to see my little short video I put out, I want to thank Miss Mindersue, and I want to thank Bev and Mike, and I want to thank Gary for helping out with last night's program. I appreciate it. Buy me a coffee. I got to remember to thank everybody and remind you all to if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you'll know when I go live and you can join us. Just watch the chats go by or come on in and say hi. But anyway, this stuff I said a long time ago was going to go from a trickle to a fire hose. I said that years ago before I ever started doing my own live broadcasts. And things are going to be coming out more. And it is no accident that this business, and I was saying, well, this is like a year on the spot, exactly a year. What did I do with that clip I played on my short video? Nancy Pelosi. And I will expand it so you can actually read the print. I was watching the video, and the transcribed words were kind of small. So let me put this in the studio. There we go. And this is just a short clip of a 2-minute video I played last night before this Nancy Pelosi video came out. Let me make that bigger. I played a 2-minute clip with the whole scene where Trump was talking about Nancy Pelosi exclusively. Now, I cut it down to about 30 seconds of Trump, and then I added where Nancy, the very day of J and then the upside down 9, you know what that means, 6, was spilling the beans on her own video they were doing with her daughter. So let me cut my mic off.
National Guard not coming. I asked it to be there 3 days in advance, and she turned it down.
She says that request was never officially made.
Oh,
just so you know.
Let me just tell you.
Let me ask you about pardons,
let me
Mr.
tell you.
President.
The mayor of D.C. gave us a letter saying that she turns it down. Okay, we have it. Nancy Pelosi also was asked, and she turned it down. The police commissioner
I'm talking about
Capitol
the day
Police,
of,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Capitol Police said that he wanted it, and Nancy Pelosi wouldn't accept it. She's responsible for January 6th.
Mr. President.
Nancy Pelosi's responsible.
Mr.
And
President,
the
you're the
J6
president, though. You have
her.
authorities that no one else has as the commander-in-chief. Do you think you showed leadership on that?
Yes, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
Responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient
No,
resources.
that is not a question of how they have, but they don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for.
She takes responsibility. She sounded drunker than she usually does, but it is still clear what she had to say. So, anyway, funny how a lot of stuff is coming out simultaneous with the Biden conviction, Hunter Biden conviction. We have this tape of Nancy. We have Merrick Garland in Congress. How many of you all have seen this? Harriet Hageman. People were kind of worried about this kind of business going on, but saying to themselves, it can't be that bad. That would be too Nazified, right? And but anyway, let me go ahead and play this that a lot of people, if they don't know, they need to know.
Attorney General Garland, in March, Chairman Jordan and I sent you an oversight letter requesting documents and information following the release of an undercover video. It was working with the IRS to use artificial intelligence to surveil bank accounts of Americans in a clearly unconstitutional manner.
So actually right now we have a system that uses AI.
It uses AI?
Yeah, to target like potential like abusers.
Is it constitutional to do that?
I doubt it.
The undercover video featured an IRS official privately admitting that the IRS had been using AI to spy on Americans' bank accounts en masse in real time.
They see the amount in your bank account, yes.
Oh my God.
The IRS official further stated that the Department of Justice and Inspector General controlled this AI-powered warrantless surveillance system not the IRS.
The Department of Justice and Inspector General, all those people are not controlling, not the IRS.
You said the IRS doesn't control the AI? Who does?
The Department of Justice and Inspector General.
Attorney General, would you agree with me that if the federal government were operating this form of financial surveillance program, there would be serious Fourth Amendment as well as other statutory and civil rights implications, considering that there is no individual probable cause and no search warrants are being obtained?
I would be stunned if the Justice Department has the kind of AI capabilities that you're talking about.
Would you agree with me that would you agree with me
to learn about this?
Would you agree with me that if they were engaging in that kind of surveillance, it would have serious Fourth Amendment implications?
I can't understand the kind of surveillance that you're talking about. Fourth Amendment prevents unreasonable searches and seizures without a warrant. If that's what we're doing, of course, that would violate the Fourth Amendment.
Okay, so I would request that you go back and read the letter that Jim Jordan and I sent to you. That might clear up your confusion just a bit.
So hopefully I won't get in trouble for playing this, of the OMG O'Keefe Media Group. Okay? And you see there what to do if you want to help them along. And I hope that played good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Roland. Yeah, I like Harriet too. Miss Mender Sue. Oh my, yeah. All right. So everybody's talking about how their families are going. So at least you had 40 good years, right, Roland? All right, I got a 5x5. Good. So anyway, not a lot. One thing we got to be ready for, though, with all this propaganda and people who are thinking backwards. All right, up is down, down is up, and that Trump's a baddie and poor Hunter. When they lose, okay. This is what's going on over in France. And I make some comments through it. But does this group look familiar? This is all the way across the pond, folks. The other side of the pond. They all dress alike. They've all got black umbrellas, backpacks, where online they let each other know what to bring, how to operate, and they are attacking conservative businesses, okay? Same outfits, black umbrellas, black gear, international operation. Black umbrellas, a unified force. Look at the flag. Racketeering Influenced Corrupt Organizations Act. RICO Act. Okay? And I have another video that is a little blurry. And I thought that one of the guys was out of uniform. I thought it was you'll hear it in my little commentary there. I said, well, one of them looks like he's out of uniform. It's actually, if you watch the center of the screen, it's actually the shopkeeper trying to protect his property. But I thought it was somebody out of uniform. Here's some more of the Unimarxists. They've got their black outfits. Some of them aren't wearing black outfits. Opportunists. Oh, that's the bar owner trying to stop them. So that's what's going on over there in France. And I'm sure there's more videos of it, of this kind of vandalism. And in, well, it's Terror, right? Terror is what they're doing. on top of everything else. What did I hear on our Eastern news services? Let me see if this is the article. No, this is a new scandal. Oh, boy. That's what we need. A new scandal in Egypt. German embassy acts as Mossad base. According to popular news reports in Arab media, the German embassy used its intelligence agents to collaborate with the Israeli Mossad. Over 200 German citizens, Palestinian employees of German institutions in Gaza, have been investigated over potential links to Hamas. They are all aid workers with various organizations. German intelligence also scrutinized visa applications from Palestinians. They also accuse said of the applicants of anti-Semitism. So, I was talking about Angela, right? Angela and her ties to where are her parents from? Where did she get the name? Going over there to Eastern Prussia and Poland. It's a little bit of a rabbit hole, but NAZIS, right? Operation Paperclip. Anyway, if Trump returns to the White House, he intends to reduce the U.S. military contingent in Germany. I would like to take a lot of people out of Germany. I was going to take them out. He said in an interview with Fox News and clarified that 50,000 military personnel are now stationed there. He said that this is not about a complete withdrawal of troops. The reason for his decision is that the German authorities do not treat Washington well on trade issues. Note that in 2020, as president, Trump already carried out a reduction of forces in Germany. Of the 34.5 thousand, he ordered the Pentagon to withdraw 9.5 thousand back to the U.S., Reuters reported. It would be interesting to see if they listened to his orders, because we know they didn't when it came to Syria. Correct? Yes, correct. Now, I have said before that my mother had a very strong German accent. And of course, I'm like a lot of most other Americans, an immigrant heritage, okay? But I do want to say that IRS employee who is spilling the beans on us being spied on, what are the chances that he's over here on a visa, a work visa for tech talents? What are the chances that he doesn't know about this country's history? I'm not saying he's a bad person. What are the chances that he's not a natural born citizen? Okay? So they can feel that they're doing a good job because their superiors who are supposed to be looking out for the American system are telling him what to do. But he can say with a smile, yes, we are monitoring en masse Americans' bank accounts. The girl said, do you think that's constitutional? And he said with a smile, I don't think it is. So it's a lot easier for non-citizens to violate our Constitution and to get put in government jobs. Maybe I'm wrong about that guy. I don't know. But I'm not wrong about these people. Muslim mothers. This is from Citizen Free Press. Muslim mothers with Muslim children in Toronto walk through park in Jewish neighborhood holding up swastikas. Now, I don't know what they're going to do in Toronto, but I know if that was happening here in this country, I'd have no problem with President Trump enacting and enforcing the Alien Enemies Act and deporting that bunch. Okay? Deporting that bunch. You know, we had a lot of people hollering that they felt that when Trump gets in office, he's going to have us arrested. How many different, what's that movie? Robert De Niro he's one. Robert De Niro was just now saying, well, he's going to lock me up. Rachel Maddow said he's going to lock me up. Who else? AOC was just on a radio program, an internet program, saying he's going to I'm afraid he's going to lock me up. And James Comey was saying he's going to arrest me. Who else? Bill Maher. He's going to put me in Guantanamo. And let's see. Oh, yeah, McCabe. McCabe, he was just on TV saying he's going to lock me up. Well, what do you have? What do you have Midas Trash come up with their fast response team, right? I'm scared of him. Scared Trump starts leaking plan to run away. They put this up today. They had 121,000 views in an hour. Crap. Remember I played the video where Trump said, don't beg these people. If they put me in jail, it's a small price to pay for our Constitution, our country, and our freedom. I just mentioned a half a dozen names of people who were scared. But they flip it around with this coordinated propaganda mechanism, all right? In tech, in Hollywood, the news organizations. Here you go. Tim Pool. Rachel Maddow says Trump will lock her up in a camp. We just, who was that one that got caught on a hot mic saying we need to put Republicans in concentration camps, but we need to change the name? So how does Rachel Maddow put that fire out? She gets up and starts saying Trump's going to do it. And Alan Dershowitz was right underneath. I figured I'd just get them both together. Hunter Biden found guilty on all counts. What's it mean for Trump? It's just that they're trying to act like they're holier than thou, and that Trump should follow their example and just take a guilty plea and put himself at the mercy of the court, just like we are, because we're good people. No, we know that this is the tip of the iceberg. They're just taking the least of the charges, just like the meme on the screen. See anything? Nope, not yet. The real stuff was the money laundering that Trump made a statement about. Let me see if I got a clip of that. Is this it? Let me see. This might be it. Might be something else. Oh, this is another hoax. I'll get to the Hunter Biden one in a little bit. The fake news Washington Post came up with a ridiculous idea. See, they sit around and daydream, brainstorm, think up ways to do anything to get people to turn against Trump. They came up with a ridiculous idea that Donald J. Trump will call for mandatory military service. This is only a continuation of their 8-year failed attempt to damage me with the voters. The story is completely untrue. In fact, I never even thought of that idea. Only a degenerate former newspaper, which has lost 50% of its readers, would fabricate such a tale. Just another fake story, one of many made up by the dead Washington Compost. And DEAD is in capital letters. Boy, I liked it when Trump barred them from bringing his newspapers using government money to have them delivered to all the government offices in D.C. What a stinking bunch they are. But anyway, Eric Trump, another story they were floating around. They were going to shut down any of Trump's businesses with liquor licenses and all this kind of crap. Eric said, Fox Evening News said New Jersey reviewing Trump's golf course liquor licenses after felony conviction. New Jersey. One minor problem, Eric Trump says. President Trump is not the holder of any liquor license in New Jersey, and he is not an officer or director of any entity that holds liquor licenses in New Jersey or anywhere else in the United States, for that matter. Ask me how I know. I know how you know, Eric. You're taking care of it for Daddy. Oh, since we were talking about the East, look here. U.S. military lifts weapons bans on Ukrainian military unit. I wonder what military unit they lifted the ban on. The one that everybody has said is affiliated with the NAZIs? The decision was made following a State Department review of the, this is another word that you just wouldn't let me say about a year ago. So I'll spell it, AZOV, okay? Brigade, a one-time militia now part of Ukrainian's National Guard. Well, guess what? That exact same battalion, I put an article up where Christopher Wray declared them, Christopher Wray, head of the FBI, declared them a TERR, okay, OR organization. So the legality of lifting this weapons ban is very much in question. And another reason why I think that Christopher Wray may be a sleeper, okay? What's this one? What's this one? Oh. Ilhan Omar might be very interested in this, right? Speaking of alien enemies, U.S. intelligence assesses Houthis in Yemen, talks to provide weapons to al-Shabaab in Somalia. U.S. intelligence assesses Houthis in Yemen in talks. So we're going to be aiding another group that is prohibited? Like nobody's paying attention? We'll see. Speaking of people not paying attention, and another reason why I think this Hunter Biden trial came about at this time. Guess who else? Former Governor Andrew Cuomo speaks to reporters before his interview with the C-Virus Committee, okay? Cuomo asks if he has any remorse or regrets before testifying before Congress, basically. He was trying to gloss over his involvement with nursing homes, okay? We've been told years ago that what he did, along with at least four other governors, was homicide. So he's far from off the hook, but everybody's talking about Hunter. How much time is Hunter going to get? What do you think it means for Trump? And I had this the other day. I didn't get a chance to put it up. Former Clinton staffer turned ABC News anchor George Stumpanopolis. It's journalistic malpractice to do a live interview with President Trump on television. No, it isn't. You're scared, okay? Because you know he's going to bust your chops and tell people the truth. But that's okay because the truth is coming out, whether you flipping like it or not. Here's one I had. This is Federal District Judge Loretta Preska, who unsealed the Jeffrey Epstein files that named over 150 people. A true hero. Well, when are we going to see the prosecutions? Now, that's not her bailiwick, and thank you, Miss Preska, Judge Preska, for having those things released. But you know what? If they wanted to zero in on her, they would say, oh, look what the pin she was wearing. The same pin of the Third Reich. when it's an eagle, like we have an eagle on a Marine symbol and stuff like that, they still try to trash her somehow. But anyway, I just wanted to give her a shout out because somebody put her on Truth Social. This is another thing going around. CNBC. If they're not hollering, every time you donate to Trump, all you're doing is paying his lawyers, making his lawyers rich. Well, if you weren't attacking him, that wouldn't be happening, okay? But now can Trump afford his legal bills? Can Donald Trump afford mounting legal bills following guilty conviction? Yeah, he can. This is a counter operation, okay? A counter psyop. It's a defensive operation to defend against a coordinated illegal psychological warfare campaign. So yes, he can afford it. Like Obama used to say, yes, he can. Yes, he can. So don't worry about where we donate. Because he's fighting for us, damn it. And it's getting to the point where somebody would really have to be, after hearing and seeing, looking through the dung, past the dung, they can't recognize the struggle that's going on. I was listening to a guy that I like, smart guy, happens to be an attorney, but says, I'm not voting for either one. I don't think either one of them is honest or whatever. I mean, I'm like, how little can you be paying attention? But I'll get into that later. This is ABC News. Another thing that's happening that they're distracting us from with Hunter Biden. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has released former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani's mugshot as part of the Arizona fake electors case. Giuliani pleaded not guilty during his arraignment on May 21st. Arizona is one of the 4 states pursuing election interference charges, blah, blah, blah. There's Rudy. He's giving him that look. All right, that look when you're coming down a dark alley and coming towards him. He's like, yeah, come on, keep walking, keep walking. He says it's going to get turned over because it's unconstitutional. And they did an interview with him. Ain't nothing shaking but the leaves on the trees. Okay? But what are they not? They're reporting on this and making fun of Rudy Giuliani. What are they not reporting on? Worrying about Hunter? Worrying about if Trump can afford his legal bills? How about this? Ha! How about that? How about that? Where's my charger? Arizona Attorney General's office opens investigation into Governor Hobbs. How many of you all remember that witness that testified on video of finding phony deeds of trusts in various courthouses, phony loans, phony property deeds tied to Mexican drug cartels and money flowing to very important people in the state of Arizona? How many of you all remember that? They silenced that woman. But I remember it. And I might go and get a copy of the video, but I guarantee if I played it, it would get taken down. But nobody in the regular media is mentioning this. And remember, when you choose to ride the tiger, sometimes you end up in its belly. And we have somebody that I know still has their finger on the pulse of what's going on in Arizona. This is Sheriff Arpaio. He was ousted by a $1 million sheriff's campaign, all right, by a candidate that was handpicked by Georgie Porgy Soriosio, okay? Joe Arpaio, a lot of you know him, and those that don't know his whole, I can't tell his whole story. you may not know that he did a forensic examination of B.O., Hussein, his little birth certificate. Okay, he did an investigation into the unaliving of the lady who authenticated that phony document. And Joe Arpaio was at Trump's last rally, or the one before that. And no, he was at this one he was the one in, I think he was the one in California, wasn't he? Well, he's at one of the last two rallies and got up on stage and said Mr. T was his hero, the only person he could ever call a hero in his whole life. And he's got to be in his late 80s. So hopefully we'll be hearing from him soon. He may get back in the game. I don't know. What else are they not talking about? How about in Atlanta? Fannie Willis is against the wall, okay? But not only that, we've got another judge, which kind of impressed me. But we had this young lady, Ashley Merchant, who was very impressive, dealing with the Trump case with Mr. Sadow. Remember Mr. Sadow, the bulldog? Well, she's back again because the attorney for this rapper, okay, YWT or whatever, I forget his name. But anyway, the judge put him in jail rather unceremoniously. I won't get into too much detail about that. But another attorney, Professor Nez, a lot of you may watch him. I watch him here and there, was talking about how when things are corrupt at the top, it tends to get in the arteries, okay, and vessels of the entire institution. And he said Atlanta is showing itself to be extensively corrupt. And I find it interesting that Ashley Merchant, who was representing Donald Trump along with Sadow, is also involved in the case with this particular judge. I find it very interesting. So we'll all be keeping an eye on that. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Oh, it was in Vegas, Bubba. Yeah, when Sheriff Arpaio. Yeah, Rudy, yep. Yeah, so Hobbs, we'll have to see. There are things starting to come together. Things are starting to come together, I believe. What popped up in my news feed just before I went live? Judge Eileen Cannon denies effort by Trump co-defendants to dismiss some charges in classified documents case from CNN. It's like, well, what are you guys on Trump's side? We highly doubt that. But Midas Trash. Corrupt Judge Cannon makes major order in Trump case. Look at that, 98,000 views in 55 minutes. Corrupt judge, they call her. That's why I'm saying, man, I've already said my piece about these attorneys that are using this kind of language in reference to a sitting judge in an active case, one of the biggest cases in this nation's history. I want to see the comeuppance. But as far as I'm concerned, what Judge Cannon is doing is she's walking the chalk, and she's going to, if she dismisses charges, throws the case out, everybody goes home, everything's fine. Trump does stuff to compel Jack Smith and his henchmen to keep having to cough up documents, okay? cough up documents, cough up evidence, put it in the record where they tampered with the files they got out of Mar-a-Lago, all right, showing where they're knowingly, okay, acting in a perfidious manner. And so, no, Eileen Cannon isn't going to dismiss these things. She's going to keep it on the record, and they're going to keep gathering as much evidence as they can. But not a lot of people think of it that way, but I do. That's the way I look at it. And, I saw Stephen Colbert had I didn't get a screenshot of it. I don't like looking at that person. But he put up or his people put up a YouTube video with him, and they referenced the 17th letter. Why would they worry about the 17th letter? This was today I noticed it. So they're worried. They're worried, and they haven't forgotten the stuff that we've already read. And who was big in the 17th letter there for a while? That's put themselves in the news? Chelsea Handler. And if you all are not familiar, the question is that a synonym for child and then handler? Okay. Offers S3X for Biden votes. She trashed 50 Cent for supporting Trump, said he couldn't vote for Trump because he's black in a resurfaced clip. And she also said she was willing to do certain things if people would give their vote to Biden. We're talking about real gutter trash here. Gutter trash. So if people think, oh boy, this is all a bunch of conspiracy theories, you have eyes with which to see, ears with which to hear. I can only put the stuff up. Hunter Biden, the tattoo on his back, the Finger Lakes, okay? The BIOLABSs, okay? Millions of dollars funneled out of Ukraine through phony business entities. That's all put in as a matter of record, congressional record. These gun charges are a red herring tossed out there for people to bite hook, line, and sinker. And people are falling for it. Where's that one Donald Jr. put out? Wait a minute. Let me see if I've got it in here. Well, I might not have got that one. Where a guy pretty much verbatim said why it was a red herring. Let me see if I can find it. Is this it? This might be it, folks. Like my grandmother say, I must be living right. Greg Price. Hunter Biden being convicted of a firearms charge is the ultimate red herring of red herrings. The DOJ allowed the statute of limitations to expire on his most serious tax charges, buried evidence of the Biden's foreign bribery allegations, and attempted to give Hunter a sweetheart deal with broad immunity. David Weiss won't go after him on the serious tax charges or on FARA because all of that would lead back to the shady business dealings involving his father. Instead, they went after him for a much lesser charge, where the evidence was way too insurmountable to ignore. So they can scream, nobody is above the law when they put President Trump in jail. That's right, fifth dimensional psychological operation against the American people. Somebody put this up. Donald Trump should do 4 years of community service. Who put that up? Oh, I see, Trump Latinos. We went over that last night, how Trump is surged in minority communities, including Latinos. Let me see. Here is, I played Hageman for you. I played that. Here is a sample. Just a sample of how they play us. Not us, but how they play the sleepy people, okay? Something is petty. Petty. As much as you see about Biden breaking wind, lose his bowels, stuttering, stammering, all this kind of crap, this is what they focused on. I copied this clip for you.
And by the way, I want to say officially for the press, it's about 110 degrees in this room. But you know what the press will say? They'll say, Trump didn't look well. He was extremely wet. It's 104 or 5 degrees in this room. But we're okay with it, right?
The next day.
The former president is feeling the heat.
I expected him to sing My Way and like get the scarf, wipe the sweat off his face, and throw it into
It's hard for me to.
You think he's well?
Memo. No.
I mean, I'm sweating. No, I'm just saying, I'm sweating that much. I mean, Marco Rubio didn't sweat that much.
Correct.
Ron DeSantis doesn't sweat that much.
Anyhow,
that was a lot of sweat.
Any little goofball thing they can attack Trump on, they do it. But that's okay. We're coming on to him. Hi, Mark B.A.Z. Nice to see you. Everything circles back. Yeah, Camperman, how you doing? Sissy, how you doing? Oh, you've been watching on Rumble, Camperman. Is it coming through good on Rumble? I don't know. I'm just hoping I have enough signal strength. It saves me from sitting around for an hour and a half uploading to Bumble. If it goes good, that's great. I had a video I wanted to play for y'all, but here's one. Here's something that's let's give you a little inside notion, a little inside ball. Citizens Free Press put this up a couple of days ago. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. There are days that I've come into my office after an announcement of a case and closed my door and cried. She also hints more important rulings are coming soon. All right? That tells you things ain't going the way she likes, that making her cry. That's good for us. Very good for us. So anyway, folks, for people that got in late, and do me a favor, even if you've seen it already, I'm going to play this short clip about these guys that are doing podcasts and weren't even in the know about the blue dress picture, okay? And what Trump had to say about Epstein Island. Because, why? Because we're getting down to crunch time, folks. We're seeing things being exposed in Arizona. We're seeing things being exposed in New York with Governor Cuomo. We're seeing people by at least half a dozen that I could just name off the top of my head talking about fleeing the country, okay? We just saw how Sonia Sotomayor is crying her eyes out, all right? So, yeah, things are going to be coming to a head. And it's all going to tie into something very dark, okay, that's been protected, that's been put forward as good. Remember all that stuff, folks? Anyway, hey, do me a favor and hit the like button on, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And thank you, my new subscribers and everybody that's stuck with me all this time. I do appreciate it. I'm going to be signing out. I'll play this video for you guys. And you know, you can get those little scissors in the U-Tizzle. I don't know how to do it myself, but I'm sure you guys are much smarter than me and can figure it out. And send this clip to a friend. You don't have to send them the whole live stream. But anyway, thank you for spending your precious time with me. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
on with this guy? I don't know. Is that the actual painting?
That is the painting.
That's beyond weird.
You know what's more telling is where he put that painting. That painting was in the entrance. So when you came in, right, the entrance of his apartment in New York, I believe, that painting was in the entrance. Why? That's a power play. That tells you I own you.
Wow, big. That's
I own you.
Gangster.
That was in Clinton's?
No, that was in Epstein's apartment.
Holy
Manhattan.
shit.
When you walk into the, I think it's, I mean, we can fact check me, but when you walk into the right, it's there. You put a former president in a dress and high heels in your entry of your apartment.
Yeah.
What does that say?
My own.
Wait, is that supposed to be the Lewinsky dress, by the way?
I don't.
You really think that Clintons are involved in Jeffrey Epstein's death? I have no idea. I know he was on his plane 27 times, and he said he was on the plane 4 times. But when they checked the plane log, Bill Clinton, who was a very good friend of Epstein, he was on the plane about 27 or 28 times. So why did he say 4 times? And then the question you have to ask is, did Bill Clinton go to the island? Because Epstein had an island that was not a good place, as I understand it, and I was never there. So you have to ask, did Bill Clinton go to the island? That's the question. If you find that out, you're going to know a lot. Thank you very much.